What's going on, guys? It is your boy Artisan Bryan, and today I'm going to show you how to make ciabatta in Dakota 16. People are probably asking like, yo, like why are you trying to make ciabatta? I'm like, it's ciabatta, son. Very simple bread. It's a wet dough, and you end up with a nice crunchy exterior, a nice airy interior. It's traditional and common in lots of different areas of Italy, and you know, some parts of Italy have their own derivations and versions of this recipe, but mine is very simple like most. No oil, just flour, water, salt. I'm not using a traditional biga, I'm using my sourdough starter, but if you want to use a biga or fresh yeast or regular yeast, I'm going to provide those modifications for you on the Ooni website with the recipe. So guys, come on down. Step one, this is my sourdough starter. So I'm gonna grab some of this. I've got 300 grams of water in the bowl, and we need 150 grams of our levain. What I'm gonna do here is I'm just gonna dissolve it into the water. Here I've got 515 grams of all-purpose flour. This is how we wanna mix our ciabatta dough. Just like that. You know the drill, guys. You've seen me mix dough before. No dry flour, and there we go. Like I said, this is a nice wet dough. But it's nothing crazy, it's nothing you can't handle. You know, if it looks like this, it's completely normal. We're gonna let it rest for 10 minutes. Set your timers for 10 minutes, dog. Go get your salt, man. Go get your salt. After that brief rest, we're gonna add our salt into the dough with a little bit of water. Then I'm gonna kind of mash it up a little bit. Make sure that that salt gets incorporated. When you add the extra water into the dough with the salt, you don't really have to measure it. You just want to add a little splash of water. Boom. This is where we want to get it after doing our hand mix. Now every 30 minutes for the first hour and a half, we're going to do a stretch and fold to the dough. You're going to lift up, fold into the middle. Alright? You make sure you're following the recipe that's posted on Uni.com. So every 30 minutes we're gonna give it a couple folds, and you make sure that it's covered. You did your mix, you added your salt, you did your stretch and folds. You're gonna let your dough ferment, bulk fermentation, for 4 to 5 hours on your countertop if you're using sourdough. If you're using the yeast or biga or poolish, check those modifications in the recipe. This is a sourdough ciabatta, so we did a 5-hour bulk fermentation. After you do a 5-hour bulk fermentation, our dough has expanded quite nicely. Come check out what's going on with it. Boom, 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 boom. It's absolutely looking phenomenal. After our bulk fermentation, time to divide the dough. So we're gonna get some flour sprinkled on there and some flour on our work surface. And this is the most fun part of making ciabatta, because we're just gonna proof it on a board. Because when you think about ciabatta, you think about that distinct texture and pattern that's on the top of your ciabatta bread. So that's why we're gonna proof it on this board here with some flour. We simply wanna just extend our dough out into this kind of rectangle shape, and we're gonna go for 200 grams. 174, not bad. Add a little there. Okay, 202. Now guys, very important here, we're doing some small ciabatta, and we wanna kind of create that square shape initially. Now these are gonna proof here on the board. Since we're doing sourdough ciabatta, we're gonna proof these guys for 3 hours. Check the recipe for your yeast and modifications. So I'll see you guys. I'm just gonna stand here for 3 hours. It's been a few hours now. Our ciabatta, we can tell they're nice and jiggly here, nice and soft. So here's what's gonna happen. Fire of Dakota 16 has been at full blast for 20 minutes. We're gonna put these ciabatta onto the peel, and right before we load it, we are going to turn the fire completely off. Yes, off. Check it out. This is how we load the ciabatta. You want to grab them with your hands, and we're going to flip them over. Okay? Grab and flip. Kind of elongate it a little bit. We're going to be champions here, guys. We're going to cook 5 ciabatta at the same time. So now we're going to turn the heat off. Boom, and we're going to load. Alright guys, so we just loaded all 5 ciabatta at once. That was kind of even tough for me. Feel free to load them 1 at a time, 2 at a time, or whatever it is that you are comfortable with. After you load your ciabatta, you're going to wait 5 to 7 minutes, and then you're going to turn the heat on as low as possible. We don't want to burn our bread in the beginning, but at the end of the bake, we want to get some color onto the loaves. After you turn the heat on low, it's been about 15 total minutes. That one's looking lovely. I'm gonna let him ride for a little longer. thank you so much for making the ciabatta with me. Make sure you're following the recipe on Uni.com. The only thing left to do is eat bread. Good bread, ciabatta bread. Oggi facciamo la ciabatta. Oh, come on down, check the cut.